welterweight division, Zach Cummings versus Dominique Steele. 170.5 for Mr. Steele. All right, and his opponent, Zach Cummings. 170.5 for Mr. Cummings. First fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen, Zach Cummings and Dominique Steele, live on UFC Fight Pass. The next fight takes place in the women's bantamweight division. Jessamine Duke versus Elizabeth Phillips. 135. And her opponent, Jessamine Duke. 135.5 for Miss Duke. Elizabeth Phillips and Jessamine Duke, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight takes place in the lightweight division. Ramsey, the Gym, versus Andre Holbrook. 155.5. And his opponent, Ramsey Najim. 156 for Mr. Najim. Andrew Holbrook and Ramsey Najim, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight takes place also in the lightweight division. Darren Cruikshank versus James Krause. 155.5. And his opponent, the Detroit superstar, Darren Cruikshank. 155 for Mr. Cruikshank. That's an excellent fight, ladies and gentlemen. Darren Cruikshank and James Krause, live on UFC Fight Pass. Next, we move on to the UFC on Fox prelims. We kick things off in the bantamweight division. Eddie Wineland versus Brian Caraway. 135.5. And his opponent, Eddie Wineland. 136 for Mr. Wineland. An excellent way to kick things off on Fox, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Caraway and Eddie Wineland. The next fight takes place in the welterweight division. Kenny Robertson versus Killer B, Ben Saunders. 170.5 for Mr. Saunders. And his opponent, Kenny Robertson. 170 for Mr. Robertson. Ben Saunders and Kenny Robertson. The next fight takes place in the lightweight division. Jim Miller versus Danny Castillo. 55.5 for Danny Castillo. Valente versus Filthy Tom Lawler. For Mr. Lawler. And his opponent, John Valente. 205 for Mr. Valente. Tom Lawler and John Valente, ladies and gentlemen. Next we move to the main card, live on Fox, and we kick things off in the lightweight division. Joe Lozon versus Takanori Gomi. 155.5 for the Fireball Kid. And his opponent, Joe Lozon. 155.5 for Mr. Lozon. For this one, ladies and gentlemen, Takanori Gomi and Joe Lozon. The next fight also takes place in the lightweight division. Edson Barboza versus Paul Felder. 155.5 for Mr. Felder. His opponent, Edson Barboza. 155 for Mr. Barboza. That's an outstanding fight, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Felder and Edson Barboza. Next, we move on to the women's bantamweight division. Misha Cupcake Tate versus Jessica Evil Eye. former champion. And his opponent, the reigning, defending, undisputed bantamweight champion of the world. It appears they're gonna try to make Renan Barão weigh in again. All right, I'm being informed they're gonna have to weigh him in again. You want to take the shorts? Bring out the towel. Cool your heels, TJ. Hopefully he has some heavy underwear. $135. And now his opponent, the reigning, defending, undisputed bantamweight champion of the world, T.J. Dillashaw. $135 for the champion.